We're joined from Baghdad by the writer and researcher in political affairs, Mohammed Al-Sadi. Good afternoon to you, or good evening to you, sir. And let me here start by asking you, how important is the reaffirmation of the Palestinian cause centrality in this communique, and what practical effects might it have on Arab states' interactions with international entities like the US or the EU?
Greetings to you and to the honorable audience. So, actually, the Baghdad Summit tackled the Palestinian cause with all dimensions, humanitarian, political, social, and economic, and it highlighted the starvation and the killing practiced by the Israeli occupation against our people in Palestine. So the Baghdad Summit focused on that and highlighted two important points. First, the necessity of returning the Gaza population to their own lands, and Iraq contributed $20 million to the Gaza construction. The consensus that took place between Iraq and the Arab states to establish a development fund for the Gaza reconstruction, and especially Gaza. It all focused on the principle stemming from the suffering that the population is exposed to, the killings and the evacuations, and even now the displacement from Palestine.
Right. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres cautioned that the two-state solution is fading before our eyes. Now, how feasible is the revival of this framework given the current regional and global circumstances, and what role could the Arab League play in its reformation or even revitalization?
Of course, Iraq completely agrees that the two-state solution is not feasible. Now, Iraq and the Joint Arab Action agrees that there must be an independent Palestinian state, and there is an Arab consensus and Islamic consensus on the necessity of the two-state solution efforts for the Palestinian state. And there is deepening famine now, and tragic conditions that the Palestinian people are suffering from. The two-state solution now are not working, and the Arab and Islamic nations are working to find joint decision among all states to establish an Arab Islamic Palestinian state on the Palestinian territories and borders with East Jerusalem as capital. These are the outcomes that unify the objective with Arab consensus. We are waiting for the messages to be clear to the United States and the European Union. All of these resolutions and messages will be conveyed to stress the necessity of establishing an independent state.
Right. Now, as Iraq takes the presidency of the Arab Economic and Development Summit and launches initiatives like the Arab Economic Reform Charter, now, how is Baghdad establishing itself as a regional leader, and what challenges does it encounter in maintaining internal stability while pursuing regional diplomatic goals?
Yes, of course, the summit is distinguished by the economic aspect, meaning that Iraq focuses on economy and development more than the political aspect, meaning that there is an integration between politics and economy. That's why Iraq wanted to shed light on the economic aspect to reinforce its position and bring back its position among the Arab nations. They are trying to find common grounds between Iraq and the Arab state to strengthen the political and economic relations, gaining momentum for strong decisions by the Arab League or from future summits. When we place the economy and development among the slogans of the summit, it means that there is a very important gateway from which the sovereign and political decision stems from, which is common interests and common economy and common investments. This is the main focus of the Iraqi government from the summit.
Indeed. Now, with Iraq introducing the Arab Economic Reform Charter and suggesting a council of Arab trade ministers, what could be the potential outcomes for meaningful economic integration among Arab states, and how might this align with the broader political and humanitarian objectives discussed at the summit?
It's a very important initiative launched by Iraq, and it requires the Arab and Gulf and Islamic determination to find a unified political decision to revive the development integration rule among the Arab nations, and for the Arab nations to engage in this march, meaning that all states are required to exert efforts and gain momentum to make the economic and political decisions of interest to all Arab nations, to prevent any further challenges. If we were able to unify our economic conditions today, and the future is only for investments and for economy, so the Iraqi government shed light on this to unify the sovereign decisions stemming from the economic interests and the Arab common interest. That's why this was a developmental summit.
Right, and this is very much what we all hope for. From Baghdad, that was the writer and researcher in political affairs, Mohammed Al-Sadi. Thank you so much for joining us here on Q News.